All right, let's keep things moving. Our next comedian is no stranger to this stage because he's been, actually, this is his third performance in the last 4 years with us. He's a graduate of the State University of New York at Binghamton. And apparently, when he first moved to Atlanta, waiting for that first big opportunity, he packed potato chips at the Frito-Lay plant. It's not really funny, it's just interesting. He, he now owns his own CPA firm. He calls it self-unemployment. And tonight he's vying for employment as the funniest comedian for the year 2019. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen, for Rich Strom.
Crazy accountant. Who am I kidding? Each year I get less and less funny, and before I know it, I'm telling dad jokes to the same people over and over again. As Tommy said, this is my third year performing after taking a 1-year break, or as the show sponsors like to call it, a restraining order. Well, I'm getting older, so I asked the doctor if I should perform, and he said, definitely not. I asked him why, and he said he saw the other 2 shows. Well, I got my peeps here. Thank you so much for coming. I'm sorry that I had to lie to you and tell you that this would be the reading of my last will and testament, but it was the only way I knew how to get you here. Well, I don't know when I started to become that guy. You know, the guy that kids say, Dad, don't use that eggplant emoji anymore. And when you send us a text, you don't have to start it, this is Dad, or sign it, Rich Strom, CPA. The guy goes to the grocery store express lane with 30 items and then writes a check. Well, then it started happening. I started to pee a lot more, but being an accountant, I kept a spreadsheet. Even sex has changed. I would ask my wife if she wanted to fool around, and she'd say, no, I have a headache. I'd say, headache? My feet stink, my toes hurt, I got gas. What were we talking about anyway? You know, her idea of getting lucky is if I fall asleep before asking her for sex. Well, I'm seeing the doctor a lot more, and it's getting expensive. My wife and I celebrate an extra holiday each year. We call it MOD Day, Meeting Our Deductible Day. You know, to save money, I did my own colonoscopy. I had a hip replacement, but I made it out of wood, had it done out of wood, and now I have termites. I am suffering from hypochondria, but the doctor gave me placebo, and it seems to be keeping it under control. Well, now that I'm semi-retired, I have more time for volunteer work. I love what Junior Achievement does, but I give my time to an accounting group, so I get CPE credit. It's the ASPC CPA, the American Society to Prevent Cruelty to Certified Public Accountants. We're trying to stop accounting fighting. You know, CPA fight night, when you put 2 CPAs in a cage and only throw in 1 laptop, and they fight for billable hours. We're also trying to curtail accounting gangs. You know, like the EY Crips and the PWC Bloods. We thought if we got them home before dark and in bed by 8, it would help. But we quickly realized during busy season, we're not getting anyone home before dark. And if we told them to go to bed by 8, they'd miss the South's Funniest Accountant competition. You know, old accountants never die, but their days are numbered. Well, I see a lot of you millennials in the audience. Thank you so much for coming and supporting junior achievement. I hear we're all going to get a trophy tonight. Now, I read the other day that millennials do not carry cash. So I decided not to bring my tip jar tonight, but I do take VenMe and PayPal. I also see a bunch of you Gen Xers here. Your parents went off to work, you got home to school, and you played alone. No wonder you became accountants. Well, then there's my group, the baby boomers, or as I like to call myself, a Generation X-laxer. You know, we have an opinion on everything. We have no filter. And things come out loud that we didn't realize. In fact, the other day, I was at church, and the preacher started talking about Jesus, and I blurted out, "Not that guy again." You know, my side still hurts where my wife elbowed me during the service. Well, I don't use Facebook or Twit. A lot of my generation uses Facebook to keep up with friends and relatives. Or as I like to say, being nosy. I personally keep up with people my age through the online obituaries. But I do like to travel to visit the ones that are still living. And I don't know if any of you have used any of those budget airlines, but they really cut costs. In fact, if you don't pay for a seat, they assign one to you. The other day I took a flight, and they put me in a middle seat between two accountants. It was the best sleep I ever had on a plane. Well, I also flew cheapo airlines. They make you pay to use the restroom. So I figured I'd save some money, and I brought a roll of quarters and put them in the coin slot in the bathroom. I just wish I was smart enough to bring my own toilet paper. Well, speaking about bathrooms, I was at my kid's house the other day, and they had something called poo-pourri in there. So I sprayed it on the toilet seat and sat down, slid right off that sucker. It's not a situation you want to be asking for help with in your kid's house. Speaking about kids, I have 5 kids and 3 grandkids. Three grandkids so far. I say so far because my wife doesn't want to have any more kids, but I'd like to keep trying. Well, I don't know if you know this, but if you win the South's Funniest Accountant, you can't come back and compete next year. So I say, vote for me, because I don't want to have to come back again. Well, I have a special treat. I'm going to end this with a rap ditty. Last night, I said to my honey, I don't even know if I'm funny. Will I win the show? She said, hell, I don't know, but at least you made J.A. some money.
Keep it going for Rich Strom.